moment. Thank you all so much for being with us today. We're just about to get started, so if we could go ahead and looks like we've got a full house, but I'd love for everybody to kind of come towards the center and fill these seats in, grab a seat up front, and we are super excited to introduce our next head women's basketball coach. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Kelly Wells to get us started.
All right, thank you very much. And again, if we could fill some of these chairs in, it'd be great. Those that want to stand in behind, that's great as well. It's kind of hard to pay into everybody and get everybody's attention. But what a great crowd for a great day here today. Super excited about Morehead State just in general. But what a shot in the arm we've got today with a great announcement here of Ashton Feldhaus being our next head women's basketball coach. I'm wanting to throw this over to Dr. Morgan. He wants to say a welcome and hello, and then Doc, throw it back to me when you're finished.
Sounds good. I won't throw the mic, but I'll pass it. Thank you. Well, good morning. Almost noon. I guess noon to everybody. What a great day it is for the Eagle Nation and welcoming a new coach with new energy and new vision for our women's program. Would you give a big round of applause for everyone here and particularly our new coach that is here? You know, these hires go through processes, and these processes sometimes turn fast and sometimes they turn slow, and this one turned pretty quick, Coach. We kind of knew a couple of people that we had our eye on, and Coach Kelly Wells led that charge with he and his staff and others and did a phenomenal job, we think, reeling in a wonderful coach for our future and our women's program. I think as you hear a little bit about her today and look at her online, a great record, a good person coming to us, and I asked her when she was moving or what her start date was, and she said Monday. And I want to tell her, don't show up here on Monday. You need to be out on the road recruiting Monday, okay, Coach? As you can probably surmise, the transfer portal is a tough business to be in. Other things in NCAA athletics, D1, are tough to be in nowadays, but we keep trudging forward with your support and hope to continue doing that. I hope you'll feel as energized as I am to have our new coach here, and we look forward to some of her comments today. Coach.
Thank you, Doc. The process of finding coaches is probably not the easiest thing to do, but really it is critical to have the right people in charge of your programs. We've done some great work in the last 18 months and those months before that even to bring coaches in here that fit Morehead State University. I don't say that lightly. That's the most important thing and responsibility we have. There are great coaches that can draw X's and O's. There are great people out in the world. Trying to find the right fit for Morehead State is critically important. I have zero doubt that we've done that today here in women's basketball, but also as you look around our room, the coaches that we have are amazing people. Thank you all for the work that you all do. Ashton will feel very supported. She's had a chance to meet most of you. Our committee that we put together, we ran you through the ringer a little bit. I think you would agree. That's only to tell you that we support you here. So like we've got a great staff, got a great crew of people, and our greatest resource, I tell everybody, is our human resource. So thank you to everybody that's here today. This better not be the last time you graze the AAC to watch basketball and perform it. We need you to come back for games, and we need you to bring all your friends when you come. A couple of things as you're selecting a coach, especially for women's basketball. Some of you may know my affiliation to women's basketball here. The last banner that was hung in this gym was 1979, I think, women's basketball-wise, and there's only one of them hanging. All right, that happened to be my dad who won that championship. Was 28-4 that year in 1979. I know he's looking down today very pleased with Ashton Feldhaus being our next basketball coach here. I know you've probably got a papaw that's pretty pleased today looking down. They're probably having a pretty cool conversation today about women's basketball. So this is very important to me. I've given my allegiance to support Ashton in her approach. I'll walk beside her, in front of her, behind her to get this thing going where it needs to be. Today is a transformational day for Morehead State women's basketball. Firmly believe that. I know we're heading in a great direction. You've already seen the accolades. You've heard about Ashton. I don't want to take her thunder. But she's a fine young lady from a fine family, and if somebody's got basketball in their veins and in their DNA, she'd just have to swing and miss not to have it. She's got a great lineage of basketball, great history in Kentucky. She's going to do great things here. So with no further ado, our 13th head women's basketball coach at Morehead State University, Ashton Feldhaus.
Okay, the first thing that Kelly said to me, or the first thing that I said to Kelly when he called me and told me that they'd love to have me, is I'm going to try not to cry. I think I did cry. I said, "I'm so sorry. Give me a second. I'm crying." So I'm going to do the best I can to make it through this, but that is how important and how blessed I feel to be sitting up here as the next head women's basketball coach at Morehead State University. Obviously, my family has a lineage of Kentucky basketball. And as you get older, you find an appreciation for things like that. So a couple thank yous, so bear with me, quite a few thank yous actually. First, obviously, to Dr. Morgan, and then to Kelly and his staff. And by the way, I'm glad you acknowledged you put me through the ringer when I was here, because you did. I was 6 hours of nonstop. I got in the car with Kenna, and I think that's the most quiet I've ever been. I was like, I just need a second to breathe. But from the moment I stepped on this campus, this was a place that felt like home, and people that really, really felt like family to me. And that's the most important thing. And so thank you to all of those people. Obviously, I wouldn't be sitting here without them. The next group of people, obviously, is this whole first row. Super, super blessed to be back home in my home state, my family. We come from a long line of basketball. Kelly is right. By the way, my sister's here today. She missed the basketball gene. She swung and missed completely. So she's... she didn't get that, but that's okay. But I come obviously from a long line of coaching. My mom and dad, both high school educators for a long time, and now still coaching. I won't tell you how long. It will show their age significantly. But my sisters and I are so fortunate to have grown up in a household where we got to watch really what it meant to blue collar approach and hardworking. And really we learned how to treat people, how to invest wholeheartedly in the people around you, and how much the people truly mattered. And I'm sitting here today, and I accepted this job because that is how much I believe in the people in this room. We have all the right tools in this room to be successful and hang banners that hopefully have a 2000 something on it, not 19 something. So it's going to be perfect. So obviously, huge thank you to mom and dad. And then I would be remiss if I didn't thank some people in my professional career. Obviously, my first boss hired me at 22 years old, right out of college, had never coached before. I was his sole assistant for 5 years in St. Petersburg, Florida. He taught me everything I know about how to run a program. So he truly jump-started my career. And then Andy Carter, who I just worked for only a year at Missouri Western State University, but he trusted me at 28 years old to take over a winning program at Missouri Western. And he's funny because when I took the job, he said, "Hey, look, you're going to have some rebuilding to do. Our roster is depleted." And I told him, I said, "Look, I'm too stubborn to lose, so here's what I need to do it in year one." And he gave me all the tools and supported me to do so. And then when this opportunity came about, I went into his office, and as you can imagine, not an easy conversation leaving someplace after a year. But he said, "Is this something you want to do?" I said, "Absolutely." And he said, "How can I help?" So super thankful to him for taking a chance on me. Obviously, I have loved being the head coach at Missouri Western, and it certainly got me to where I'm sitting here today. So, and then the last group of people I want to thank, and maybe the most important, are the young women that I've been fortunate enough to coach in my career, because they are some of the most fantastic human beings. And I'm not sitting in this chair if it's not for the young people that I'm about to serve. And that's truly servant leadership is what we talk about as a staff all the time. So they have they have no clue how much they have helped me and how much they have taught me as a person. And I know you think coaching, you're supposed to teach them. They do the same thing for me. So quite a few of them are watching today. My watch is like buzzing off the wall. They're so excited. So we have a lot of new fans from Morehead State University, being all my former players. So a huge thank you to them. So obviously, so many people who've helped me to get to this point today. But we're here today to look forward to the future and the future of Morehead State women's basketball, which I could not be more excited about. So This is a university and a place that really sees investing in people. And I think it's why it was such a match for me as a coach, because I see the value in the people behind the product. And that's what we're here to do. And I've met so many people already today. And you can just tell people are into it. They love Morehead State University. They love the city of Morehead. And then obviously basketball in the state of Kentucky is so pivotal. So this is a perfect place for me. We want to take a program who's had success from when Kelly's dad was apart, but has struggled in years past. And make no mistake about it, I understand the challenge that lies ahead. However, it's something that I'm really, really excited to take on. I'm going to attack it head on. Dr. Morgan mentioned it. We're in the world of the transfer portal. I won't be at work on Monday. Thank you for that. I'll be somewhere trying to find kids to fill our roster to make all of you proud, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to build championship level success both on and off the court. And it is a challenge and it will be an uphill battle, but it's one that I'm committed to doing. And I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think I could get it done. And I do. So we have work to do, but I want to find success, and I want to find it very, very quickly. And I think one of the most important things in our program is you have to have ways to measure success. And as a coaching staff, we always talk about we have 3 ways that we measure success in our program. And the first one is obviously athletically. We plan to compete for Ohio Valley Conference championships year in and year out. We want to be a mainstay in this conference. We want to be a top team in this conference, that when Morehead State is coming to play, you know you're going to get the toughest team, the blue collar team, the team that's going to work and make a lot of threes. I can promise you that just the same. And then we're going to measure it academically. You know, these players, when the ball stops bouncing, which it does, guys, eventually, you got to have a degree to fall back on. And we want to set them up for success. And throughout my interview process, I met so many people academically who are here to help and support. And we as a staff take pride in that. We try to get them out and meet people in the community. What is it that you want to do? What is it that makes you happy? How can you be a member of our community and someone that left our program and can make an impact in the world? So we talk about that a lot, and academically is super important. And then the last measure of success is just life success, you know, and I feel super fortunate to have a job where we get to teach them the value of what it means to be a good teammate. You learn how to work hard. You learn how to take a sense of industry approach to everything that you do. You learn how to come to work every day with a smile on your face, regardless of how you feel. You want to be a positive member of our team, positive member of the community. And then the young women in our program also know that these relationships are forever. So we'll get them connected with people in the community, with things that they want to do. I say this every day. Find something you love doing, because you'll never work a day in your life. And coaching is a really, really tough profession. But if you love what you do, I say this, even my worst days, I think, wow, I'm so grateful to do what I do. And that's exactly how I feel. So if I need connections, I'm probably going to go to Kenna. She'll find me someplace I can get a connection. I can get some kids someplace. But that the life success piece. So obviously, I know today is about me, and I'm super excited to be sitting here as the next head women's basketball coach, but I wouldn't be sitting here without the young women who we are about to invest in our program. So it's going to be a complete transformation. We're going to take a very blue-collar approach. We're going to work our tails off. But we're going to give you a product that you can be proud of. So when Morehead State women's basketball steps on the floor, every fan in the stands goes, yes, that's a team we can get behind. So I hope you can tell how excited I am. I hope you can tell how committed I am to doing this job and doing it the right way. And we are going to build from the ground up championship level success, both on and off the court. And I can truly say this, without the people in the room, it doesn't happen. I'm no fool. I understand how many people it takes to be a part of something so, so special. And all these people in the room, I cannot thank you enough for being here. I am so excited to be a part of this family, and that truly is what it is. And it is my job to give you something you are so, so proud to support. And I couldn't be more grateful to be the next head women's basketball coach at Morehead State University.
Coach, congrats again and welcome. We're going to take some questions. I'm going to start back here with our media, and then we'll go around to our community and fans. If you would please just raise your hand, and we'll get the mic to you. We do want to have the question, if we can, on our live stream. We'll start back here.
Hey, Coach. Michael Epps at Fox 56. Obviously, as mentioned already, that navigating coaching right now in college basketball is tough. How do you approach NIL now that you're at a D1 program, but still a mid-major? How are you going to navigate that situation?
I think it's all just a puzzle, right? And those are conversations that I have. And our men's staff, I think, is a great resource for me because they have had success. And that's part of the reason this job was so appealing. You can get it done at Morehead State University. So it's not that much different. I know like the Roman numeral people think is always really, really different. You'd be shocked at what, and I came from a great Division II conference. You'd be shocked at the money we had there, just the same. So the NIL, it's all ever changing. And I think that's one of the things about being younger is you just kind of got to be resilient and you have to adapt to whatever the landscape of college basketball is, which is changing every single day, every single off season when it comes to the portal, when it comes to NIL, when it comes to the rules. Those are all conversations, and there's people in place here, such as Kelly, to kind of help assist me and my staff through our journey to navigate it all. So yes, different, but not as different as you would think. But I will say this, the way we recruit never changes. We go high character, high academic, kids that work hard, and if you find the right group of kids, it doesn't really matter the NIL stuff that you're talking about. If that's what they're interested in, this probably isn't the program for them anyways. We want kids who want to come in, be a part of something much bigger than themselves, and then work to get to the top of the league. So that's kind of the approach we take, a little different, I would say, because you're right, we're not at the Power Fours where all of that really that's what's talking, the money. This is a little different, and we're still looking for the character piece. I think is really important.
Ashton David Patrick, Morehead State Athletics. When you first got the call from Coach Wells, because I know Coach Wells had talked to your dad, and he didn't know if you'd be interested or not because you loved where you were.
Right.
But what was your thought process when he called you and your initial thoughts about, wow, I kind of like the thoughts of being the head coach at Morehead State?
You know, he caught me at an odd time. I was preparing for the national tournament. So I had to take like 2 seconds, step away from my computer. And I have to be honest, I said like a really quick prayer. And I was like, you know what, I'll know when I know. And my parents are great about it. You know, it's funny. They're coaches, but they don't really give their input like you think they would. They just say, you know, you're going to know what's your spot. And if you're fine where you are, and if you think that's where you want to be, go try it. So I took a step back, and then the first phone call I made, in all honesty, was to my athletic director at the time, and he was fantastic. And he said, do you think this is something you would want to do? And I said, you know, I had never thought about, I had just taken the job at Missouri Western. So returning home hadn't crossed my mind really at all. And then when I sat and talked about it, I've been away from home for 12 years. And I know how important basketball is in the state of Kentucky, and I played in the Ohio Valley Conference. So the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? No, I want it. That's exactly what I want. And then I called my boss, and he said, is this something you want? And I said, I do. And he said, let's go get it. And that was kind of his take on it. So as soon as I finished with my team at Missouri Western, all my focus kind of went into this. And a week later, I'm sitting in this chair, which is it went really, really fast. I haven't packed a bag. I'm living out of a suitcase, to be honest with you, and have been for a week and a half. But it was a no-brainer kind of when I got the time to catch my breath and think about it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Coach, I just want to know one thing. One of the hardest jobs you're going to have is to put together a staff.
Yes.
Do you have time? Do you have ideas of who you want, and have you talked with them already?
I do have some ideas, 100%. I think staff is maybe more important at the moment than a roster, to be very honest with you, because it's so important to have people that you trust, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I definitely have ideas, and the Final Four obviously is next week, so I have meetings set up already with people who want to be a part and kind of believe in my vision and my leadership, which is really exciting. So staff is the first thing, because I could use some help, because there's, I think, 1,400 kids on the portal right now, and I'm struggling to do that by myself. So yes, I'm going to find a staff, and hopefully within the next few weeks. And the same thing, they're going to be of high character, high energy. I will say that, probably pretty young. I think I'm young anyways, so probably pretty young, and great with the young women that we have in our program. So that is my, I think, first order of business.
Other questions? Anybody? Just raise your hand. You got another one?
I can always ask questions.
Okay.
Coach, how would you describe the style you want to play? Do you want to average 85 a game, or do you hold the other team to 45 a game? I mean, is it offensive or defensive, or is it a good combination of both?
I think it's a good combination of both. I think offensively, I will tell you this, we're going wide open layups and wide open three-pointers. That's what we're looking for, and we're going to play at a pace. So I think it's a fun style of basketball for women's basketball. There's nothing more fun than when you go 3 stops and 3 scores, and all 3 of them are threes, and the other team has to call a timeout. So as from a fan perspective, it's really, really fun. From a me perspective, it's a lot of teaching. We run Princeton style, so we are ball moving, body moving, lots of assists, try to double our assists that we do turnovers. We try to take the selfless approach, and that's kind of who we're going to be to the core. So we share the ball a lot, not a lot of like ISO attack one-on-one. So fast-paced offense, and then defense, I think I get it from my dad. We're hard-nosed, tough, half-court man-to-man. So we try to stop people just the same. So I think it's a good mix. I think you have to have that to be a championship team. You can't just put points on the board. You've got to be able to get stops just the same. So I think we got a good mix.
Coach, obviously the Feldhaus family is basketball royalty in this state. Talk about how much pride that you take to carry on that legacy, because it's a special name in basketball.
It is, and I think growing up, my sisters and I always saw it as a curse because everyone was watching like that's a Feldhaus right there. So, but again, as you get older, you learn to appreciate things. And Kelly mentioned it, but I know my grandfather right now and my grandmother are looking down so excited because basketball is who our family is to the core. And from Morehead State to the University of Kentucky, it's just what we've always done. And in the state of Kentucky, I think I'm the only one to this point kind of leave and carve my own path. But funny that I end up back here, because you're right. I think as I'm older, how much pride I take in our last name, and how much success, obviously, my grandfather, my uncles, my dad. And then the cheerleading side, I don't know if Mark Coleman's in here or not, but Mom does that just the same. So I've been around a lot of basketball, a lot of winning, and I feel like I've learned the right way to do things, and that's how to treat people and how to work hard. And I keep saying blue collar, but that is the word that we use in our practice all the time. So that sense of industry, and to grow up in the family that I grew up in, there's never really a conversation that doesn't revolve around basketball, to be very honest with you. But it's a fun way to grow up, and now to be able to do this at Morehead State, it's a God thing. It's like a dream come true for me. So yes, I obviously love my last name. I will say this, I don't yell at the officials as much as they do over here. I'll tell you that. I'll leave that for the people in the stands. But no, I'm super blessed to be a part of the family that I come from.
Got time for a couple more, 1 or 2 if we have them. If not, that may be it. That is it. All right, Coach, again, welcome. Congrats. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Be some time to meet and greet Coach here and mingle among our fans. But again, thank you everyone for being here today, and congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this family.